Hello, my friends. It's Anthony Bandiera here, bringing you a roadside chat. This question comes from an officer in Missouri. But basically the question is, does giving permission to violate traffic laws open up the officer to liability, right? So here's an example, right? The officer pulls somebody over for no license, for speeding, and the person has no license. Suspended, revoked, or has no license. And then the officer gives express permission for the person to keep on driving, right? Or to go home. Hey, I'm gonna let you go home, but drive safe, right? And that person gets into a crash, and somebody else gets gets hurt. Does that mean that the officer now is liable? All right. And the officer is saying, look, we're not talking about giving permission to people to commit felonies and serious crimes, but this whole license issue, right? Well, it's a very good question. And in fact, it's been something that when I was a cop, I wondered myself because, I worked in Las Vegas and, I'm sure maybe your city experiences the same thing. A lot of people do not have licenses. Many people do not have insurance. So you would write them these insurance tickets, but sometimes we didn't tow their car. We let them drive away. What if they got into an accident and they're at fault and now they have no insurance? Are we on the hook for it? The answer is, look, I'm not going to talk about state-specific law. You have to deal with that separately because I'm not your expert there. But I'm a constitutional expert. And the thing is, the answer is probably not, right? Many courts would analyze this under the state-created danger doctrine, right? In other words, not all circuits define it this way, but the idea, though, is that before you can even be liable for due process violations and so forth, right? I lost my car because of you, right? This person crashed into me. They had no license, and it's your fault. This would have never happened if you did your job. Well, that's a state-created danger, and a good case on this is Sinclair versus City of Seattle, 9th Circuit, 2023. To succeed on this due process claim, the plaintiff must establish three things. Number one is that the police officer's affirmative actions created or exposed him to actual, particularized danger they would not otherwise have faced. Number two, injury he suffered was foreseeable. And number three, the officer was deliberately indifferent to the known danger. Okay. And that's where you can start seeing this thing falling apart, right? And I don't know statistically how many accidents are caused by people with licenses or without. But I'd be pretty surprised if it was that really, extremely different, right? Bad drivers are bad drivers. I mean, that's my experience. Yes, having a license helps you be a good driver. But I've seen a lot of people with licenses that are bad drivers. In fact, I got to tell you, probably most of the accidents I've investigated are people with licenses. But that's just anecdotal. That's not enough for scientific proof. But I guess the point is that there are a lot of people right now rolling around your city streets with no license. Are they creating mayhem? Probably not, right? And so I just don't know how we kind of get how the plaintiff says by speeding, the guy was speeding, fine, a lot of people speed, but by letting that guy go, he is now, you let him go, and now you should have foresaw that he was going to crash into me, right? Or somebody situated. How do we get that link? I just don't see it. And so that's the bridge. Now, what I have seen is situations where, cops will let a drunk driver go, right? They're trying to cut this guy a break, or maybe he's the chief's friend or something like that, and that guy gets into an accident. Is it foreseeable that a drunk driver would cause an accident? Way more foreseeable than a guy with no license, right? I've seen where a passenger was released from a traffic stop, because the car was going to be towed. He was completely intoxicated, and he was, walking on the street and walked into traffic and got killed. And basically, when you look at the camera, the guy was so falling over drunk, he probably should have been, accommodated and given a ride somewhere, right? I've seen those cases. But no license, no insurance, I don't think legally that's enough for a due process claim. At the same time, Am I telling you that you should be fist bumping these people? I'm like, all right, keep on driving. Don't worry about that license. It's cheaper just to get the tickets. Of course not, right? You shouldn't be encouraging people to break the law. But I'm not here to tell you what to do and what to say to these people. That's between you and your agency, all right? Whether you tell them to park it, get home, call a friend, and so forth, all right? So that's all I have for you on that question. I'm not a liability expert, so this is just high-level discussion, but I have personally not seen cases that have held a cop liable with those facts. All right? All right. Keep the questions coming. Do me a favor before you leave. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends. If you want a question for me to answer, a search and seizure question, that's my forte, send it to bluetogold.com/show, or just go to bluetogold.com website and you'll follow the link. All right? All right, my friends. Until next time, stay safe.